Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the Just Us League podcast.
What's up? It's your boy Doughboy.
I always feel like that's redundant because
it's not.
We've talked about this before. You are Doughboy. These are facts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am CT, aka CT is dope. And you say it's your boy Doughboy when it should be, hey, what up, everybody? It's Doughboy. Or hey, what's up, everybody? This your boy Doe. Or this your man Doe. Something, but not it's your boy Doughboy.
I'm all about how words flow together, and it's your boy Doughboy. It's a continuation. Like it's got to go up and down. Like that's even how I named Kiara Janae. Like Anthony Dwight. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on a minute. Also, you didn't name me. You mean to tell me? Remember my daughter Kiara. CT. What? You mean to tell me your middle name is Dwight, like off Empire, Terrence Howard?
Absolutely. What you know about that, man? Dwight, that's a gangster name, man. You understand me? I don't know. You know what I mean?
You in charge.
But side note, before we move any further, you know why you got the green screen without the effect on it? You know you can change. You just sit in front of the green screen. Is how you feeling today in life?
Well, let me tell you something, man. I'm so glad you brought that up. First of all, even if I did choose to have something on the green screen itself is so crispy it brings out my background. I will say that. That's number one. Number two, I, of course, I'm in CT City. That's what I call this area.
You changed it.
CT City just seems fire. You
feel CT, a place I'd like to visit.
You feel me? So down here, I do a lot of streaming, and I was streaming yesterday. I came down in the room today. I'm on the other side of it. I'm playing games with the squad, and then Doughboy's like, "Hey man, what up?" I'm like, "Oh,
you totally."
Because it's different for me because we're not in studio. Like last week, we did it because I wasn't feeling well, and this week, I was like, "Oh, you say, yo, let's do another one, man." Until after we do the shows, I say, "Cool," but when we do that, I completely forget. So I'm like, I'm just chilling, and you're like, "Yo, what up?" I'm like,
See, and that's why, this is how we're learning to learn each other's communication. Because I was sitting here like, me. I had been sitting at the laptop since 7:38. I'm just sitting here like, and I'm waiting for the link, and then right at 8, it don't come. But you know me, I'm like, so I'm just like, but however I send this should just be, just hey. So I was just like, hey, we still on for 8? Like I didn't want to be like, where you at? Like, because if you do these things wrong in these conversations, immediately it can go left. And so you're like, and then your response was perfect because you were like, hey, let's shoot 8:10. I'm like, perfect. It was all good, man.
That's me. Hey man, I don't want no smoke, man. Just give me 7 minutes.
I'll put it all together for you. And side note, also, before we go any further, everybody knows it's the Just Us League podcast. Make sure you like the video, share the video, all that good stuff, and subscribe to the page, all that good stuff.
Yes.
But I wanted to give you your flowers for last week.
What?
You powered through an episode with that Coco.
Let me tell you something, Doughboy.
You went through it, bro. Like everybody was in the comments. Like, yo, shout out to CT. Like, he really did this for us. And I think a lot of times people don't understand because it seems like what we do is fun. And, a lot of times it is, but it is still very much a job. So for you to get up and have the Coco and still do your job and do it well.
Thank you.
Hey, man, got a lot of props, brother.
Let me tell you something. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate all the love from Team C and Team CT in the comment, man. What are you doing? That's why I'm
I just wanted to clean the camera off just in case it was a little dusty.
I want to thank Team CT in the comments for showing that love. I want to thank the donation. I don't know if you know this, Doughboy. I was dead last week. I don't have no idea I did a show with you.
Yo, how did it? So how did it finally start to feel like, all right, I'm gonna make it through the forest of that Coco?
When I saw the notification that the Just Us League was airing, I said, he did the show without me? That's how removed from it I was. I have no recollection of anything we talked about. I don't remember doing the show. I just remember seeing the notification on both of our pages on YouTube and Facebook saying, hey, new episode. I was like, new episode?
You are pretty much describing my life as a former alcoholic. That's how it used to always be. I used to be like, I did a thing. It go up. I like it. It's funny.
Where did these tattoos come from?
Who's this woman of my heart?
Why does everybody keep saying congratulations working with Nick Cannon? I don't know Nick Cannon. I've done episodes with this guy.
So no, man, it's definitely good, man. And I gotta let you know too, it's glad to have old CT back, because you can tell I told you before we even went on there, your spirit is back, your vitality is back, man. And in addition to that being back, guess what else is back?
What else is back, Doughboy?
New nickname alert.
Okay, what's the nickname for the day, brother?
Michael Vaxon.
Michael Vaxon. Why are they calling you Michael Vaxon?
Because I got that vaccination, and just in case I get that COVID, I might beat it. Come on, man, beat it, man. Give me the beat it, man. You know Michael Jackson. Come on, that was the first time I veered off of the dough name path. Maybe we should have just retired at the 25th episode.
I feel like, and let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with the name, but there was something wrong with the delivery. I feel like if you'd have gave it a little energy, if you'd have hit it with Michael Vaxon, you'd be like, why they call you Michael Vaxon? You'd be like, because if I get that cocoa, I'm going to beat it.
I should run. See, I should run these past you before the show. You punch them up, and then I pitch them to you like it was the first time that you heard them.
Listen, brother, we're actors. We are actors, bro.
Like, this is the fall off. I'm like, these motherfuckers is going down.
I could have sold it for you. You treat me like a stranger. I'm trying to help you win, baby.
Help me, help you.
Come on, man.
So before we get into the stuff, we got a ton of stuff on the docket, but I was telling you before we started, I want to do a curveball.
Okay.
You understand me? You understand that? Now, let's talk about this, because this is really, really important to the both of us, and I don't know if the world knows how important it is and why it's the important. And I want to kind of have a little fleshed out conversation about that. So August 13th through the 15th, you and I are going to be in Detroit. Yes. What are we going to be doing in Detroit, brother?
Well, brother, we're going to be doing some stand-up in my hometown, man, at Burt's. It's on the east side. It's going to be crazy. My man Mike Bonner is going to be hosting. And Mike Bonner or Foolish, one of the legends, is going to be hosting, man. You're going to be going up, and then I'm going to be headlining the whole thing. And it's major. It's massive to me, and I'm going to tell you why it's massive to me, bro. Because a lot of times people see, the hometown hero move away, or they see you, repping Detroit. Like, I've been repping Detroit since before them shirts came out. I've been repping it since it was not popular. I'm talking about, I've been repping Detroit since everybody been coming up. They're like, where you from? Detroit? Detroit? It's so cold in D. Like, I've been getting that.
It's so cold in the D.
I've been getting that since 2007. You feel me? Right. So it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that for me, because you're talking to a guy that, and every comedian that lives in Detroit knows this, man. There are so many comedy spots and the theaters and the rooms that don't book Detroit acts, and you have to leave to make a name for yourself, right? And I've done that. I left the city at the tender age of 21. I'm 35 now.
And what year was that you left? So you left back 07. 07. Okay, 14 years ago.
Yeah, man. And this is my first headlining date back home in my hometown. So when I tell you the tickets I've seen people get so far has made me feel so humbled. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful, and I'm flattered that people have spent their hard-earned money to not only see me, to see us, because I'm bringing you with me. You know what I'm saying? And it feels so good. We're definitely going to give them the greatest show of all time. If you have not, look in the description. The link to get your tickets is right there. Click on, it'll say Linktree/CT is dope. Click that. You'll see it say tickets. Hit the tickets and come Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's gonna be fire.
Nah, and tell me more about this, because I know that in your career, because this is the reason why I threw this curveball in this, because even when we were texting and I was like, hey man, you know what I'm saying, like, is there anything I could do? You were like, you know, this is how I knew it was important to you. I sent you a text and I was like, hey man, just checking on you, make sure your health is okay. I'm like, you good? And you were like, hey man, promote the show. The show is what's important. Well, it was in a very. Oh, go ahead.
You said, hey man, are you okay? I said, brother, I'm amazing. I'm living 7 Saturdays. You said, do you need anything?
Right. I left that out. I said, do you need anything? And then you said,
potatoes.
I forgot the meat and potatoes. And then you said, promote the show, man. This one's really important. So, and that was really fascinating to me because, bro, I don't know if I need to tell you, you've done so much. You've acted on sitcoms. You've written sitcoms. You've gotten to 1 million subs. And I felt like, you know, like I've never even kind of seen you nervous about anything or just kind of, and this one. So are you articulating to me that this, like selling out these shows to you, would this mean more than some of these other things that you've done just because of what Detroit means to you and because you just want to show the city like, I'm the hometown kid coming home and y'all just got to come party with me?
Yes, and I'll elaborate even on that, man, because what a lot of people don't realize, and this is why I'm like, hey, everybody, get your tickets. Don't wait to the last minute. I'll encapsulate this with this statement, right? So I remember talking to one of my actor friends. I'm not gonna say his name because this is I don't know if he would want people to know this, but so there's an actor friend of mine, and it's the year is 2013, right?
Okay.
So he had done a string of these big box office movies. He had tried to get into television and things weren't working out for him, right? And from my perspective, I didn't even have an agent at the time, right? And I'm over here looking at him kill it, but I'm looking at him be like, man, I need this TV show to go. And I'd be like, man, I wonder why is he so, you know, he's already done these huge movies with these amazingly big actors and actresses. What is he tripping off of, you know, getting on a TV show, right? And he says to me, he says, this is my last shot. If this TV show that I'm trying to do doesn't go, that's over for me. It's done. And I was like, you tripping. It ain't done. Like I'm looking outside, looking in, right? And fast forward, like I said, that was 2013. It was over for him as far as doing any roles of significance, right? Now that doesn't say that he's counted out, because the thing that Hollywood loves is a comeback story and, you know, a rebranding of yourself, right? So if he decided to at this moment and some director was like, yo, I love such and such, let me give this cat an opportunity, he could be right back on top, even beyond what he was, right? So I say that to encapsulate what I'm saying as far as the stand-up show. Now, the way that booking stand-up gigs works is you're only as good as your last show, right? Now, this is my first headlining gig back in my hometown, but this is my first headline gig since the pandemic, because the last show was in New York at Caroline's in 2019. And that was before I hit even 200,000 followers on Facebook or YouTube. So we're looking at, when I hit my million, the pandemic was going strong. So I have not been able to perform out of LA since 2019, before the world shut down. So when my name is on this show, and what happens is, for you to be able to book more gigs, you have to do well at the gig that you have for the weekend. Like, this isn't a one-nighter. This is, you'll see a lot of comedians. You'll see a lot of comedians do one-nighters, which, you know, they're trying to show you, hey, I can sell tickets in your club or in your city. Now give me a weekend and see what I can do. This club is already trusting me, like, oh, yo, we're giving you the weekend first. You feel me?
Right.
So when I say it's important that this weekend succeeds, it's an understatement, because if it doesn't succeed, it's funny when you say, yo, everybody come to the show, and then you'll see people, and I love Team CT for this, but it's like, you'll be like, hey man, come to Chicago. Hey man, come to New York. Hey man, come to Texas. And you like, fam, I hear you.
Right.
But if Detroit don't buy these tickets, I ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
They're not gonna let me go nowhere.
And that's just super ironic, and I think just dope that that's the first show. Like, you got to go back home for this to be the one to push off. And I'm super excited, bro, because I've been working on this material. You and I have talking, like, I've been working the material out, like Shantae took me on the road. So I'm super excited, but I do got one question that I need to know about Detroit before we move on for the topic.
Okay.
Is there anything that I need to know about Detroit audiences? Like, do I need to, because I'm coming from a nigga, I got booed at Southern in 2016. So do I not need to make jokes about, do I not need to make 8 Mile jokes? Like, is there anything that I need to know as a nigga that's never performed in Detroit? What do I need to do to succeed, or what do I not need to do to not fuck up on that stage?
Well, I'll tell you, number one is don't call them Detroit. It's Detroit. It's not. You don't need to emphasize that E. It's just Detroit.
Detroit.
Now, we say it's cold in the D, but we order the D. But it's like it's Detroit.
Okay.
I would say if you got an 8 Mile joke, it better be hilarious. We've heard so many 8 Mile jokes. Every time somebody says anything about Detroit, they're like, yeah, how's 8 Mile going? And you're like,
here we go. Here's this guy.
I've never heard that one. So if you got an 8 Mile joke, it better be so funny that people are like, all right, now that was a joke. All right.
So stay away from
it's a cool city. Okay. It's and you got to remember, you're not just going to Detroit. You're going in front of literal members of Team CT. Like, these people who are spending their money, these people love me. So when you get there, it's gonna be love no matter what. And then those are gonna be the people that's like, oh my God, Dope! I didn't know Doughboy was, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna love you no matter what. But if you got an 8 Mile joke, boy,
nah. Okay, I'm erasing my first joke out of my set now. So I thought that was gonna knock them down and get them ready, but I'm gonna get that out. But before we move on, just if CT hasn't emphasized enough, this is coming from me. Please, if you are in the Detroit area or the surrounding areas where it's not too far for you to get there, please do us both a solid on behalf of the donation and Team CT. We would greatly appreciate you guys coming out, having a good time with us, and catch these jokes. And you know what I'm saying?
I will say this though, man. One cat, I'm reading the comments on my Facebook about the show, right? Because I post a flyer or I do like some promo, and one guy commented, he's like, I'll get my tickets if you take a picture with me. And I was like, Jesus,
sir.
First of all, it would be an honor to take a picture with you, man. You don't need to hold the tickets ransom. Just
how do you even collect on that? You gonna see about the show like, hey, I bought it. Now do it. Like, oh, now because you have that
cheese. And then here's my thing. I don't know. How do you feel about this, bro? When you meet people that support you, first of all, everybody who takes a picture with me knows to smile. I don't do that bullshit. Like, if you taking a picture with me, smile. I don't want to be looking like I'm the one that wanted the picture. We need to
like you doing me the favor.
Yeah. Well, I decided to take a picture with CT.
Nut ass nigga that tell jokes.
How do you feel like when you take pictures and people aren't smiling? Somebody trying to be tough.
I just match energy. Like, I just match whatever they doing. Because sometimes niggas don't want to do that. Niggas want to hit you with the jail pose. So whatever energy they doing, I try to go with them. I just hate that I'm always at odds with what to do with my hands. I usually just do the point or just the, hey, what is this? This is played out. I had a couple years where I was doing the I don't know who I'm saluting. I don't even know. I don't know who the hell I'm saluting. So I need more things. I even did a picture recently, and I'm glad they didn't tag me in it. I put my hands behind my back. I don't know why I did. Almost like handcuff position. Like, what are you doing, nigga? Like, they finna get led away. So I usually just match whatever energy that they're trying to do.
let me tell you my favorite thing to do in pictures, because I too believe this is played out, and if there are too many people in a picture doing this, it looks ridiculous. I'm gonna hit you with the
head.
Come on, I'm hitting you straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I meant to tell you this. I didn't, because I know we haven't talked as much, you know, over the last, few days, whatever. But I got caught up again, assuming a nigga wanted a picture, trying to be nice, and felt stupid again. Was in 7-Eleven getting my snacks. These two dudes come in, and you could hear them. They're just like wilding out. Like, what's his name? Like, man, you say something that, like, you know what I'm saying? So I hear them. Bro, I got Diet Coke and Intamin donuts in the other hand. Like, I've got good decisions and bad decisions. Okay. So I'm like, all right, man. So I'm like,
both of those are bad decisions.
No, Diet Coke is the offset of it. So I'm going to go do my thing, right? And so the dude comes, and so, like, I'm, they're like younger cats. I'm just like, all right, man, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I buy my stuff, and then I'm heading out. Dude comes out, and he was just like, wilding out. And so I'm like, yeah, man, what's up? He was like, oh, man, I told you, man, I told you. And so I'm like, hey, bro, you want to go ahead and get a picture? He was like, oh, no. He was just like, no. Like, he almost looked disgusted. I was just like, oh. And so then it got worse. Because then they had been talking the whole time, and they were just like, oh, man, let's see what type of whip he get. He probably whipping the Jeep or the BMW. Nigga seen the hot Corolla with the cracked windshield. Man, I got there I was humbled is what I'm trying to tell you. Man, nigga. Man, I was just sitting there like, nigga, it went from what? And then they was just sitting there. They was some young niggas, and they was sitting there in front of the, and I had nowhere to go because so I'm a fat nigga walking with a bag of snacks. I asked the nigga, did he want the picture? He didn't want it. Then you know how the young niggas do. Oh, that's my car. Nobody wanted my car, nigga. And there was nowhere for me to go. They were gonna sit there and watch me. I had no other options. I couldn't just walk down the street, nigga. I walked to it and I looked back to them with shame in my eyes, like, and we all felt it the same. They stole me out there. They didn't really laugh until I just felt like a sucker. Like, man, when am I gonna make it?
Here's what I feel bad about. I feel bad from the beginning when he was like, no, right there.
He didn't even whip his phone out. I should have known. But
we taking a picture, whether you like it or not.
But bro, you gonna take it on my camera, and I'm gonna post. And I'm just like, bro, you was following me around the whole mini mart. I thought this is what you wanted. This isn't what he wanted at all.
Listen, Doughboy. Here's the thing, bro. I'm sorry you went through that, man. For everybody that's listening, let me tell you why I said no like that. Doughboy, myself, and there is a mutual friend of ours by the name of Jay Snow. Okay. When I tell you this story, this is going to break your heart. Okay. Now, what we talk about before, when Doughboy was bigger, we called that regular Doughboy. When Doughboy lost the weight the first time, he was Buddy Love, okay? Buddy Love from The Nutty Professor, which if you have not watched, is a brilliant classic movie. Anyway, Earl Shine. Anyway, I'm sorry. So Doughboy, okay, so let me back this up. Jay Snow has a very robust, deep voice, right? However, when I met Jay Snow, he was going through something with his voice. He had a sickness, and his voice, he used to talk like this.
The Mickey Mouse.
He's a Mickey Mouse, you know? And so he could not use the bass of his voice, so much so that my first impression was the Mickey Mouse. I didn't know he had a deep voice, right? Fast forward, he had to end up getting a surgery to get his vocal cords back to where they needed to be. Now, I digress. So there's an episode of Wildin' Out where Doughboy has cinnamon red hair. Okay?
And the beard
as well.
And the beard.
That's a fact. I'm never gonna forget that. So, but this isn't Doughboy. This is Buddy Love. You got to understand this, okay? This is not the nice, friendly Doughboy. This is the, hey, I'm not fat no more. Y'all need to respect who you dealing with.
Everybody is hell to pay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm light skinned. I got these eyes. Holla at your baby. That's what Doughboy, aka Buddy Love, was on this particular day. Right. So those of you guys who don't know,
just so they get it. This is how I look. This was Doughboy. That's where you can see can you see it?
Lightweight. Tilt it towards the computer. Now push it forward. You can go faster than that. But yeah, that's Doughboy with the cinnamon red hair. That's when he was first on his skinniness.
With the red beard to match. Okay,
red beard, red hair, Buddy Love. So this is very important that y'all know that he was Buddy Love, because he was not the Doughboy that you see in front of him. No. This is a completely different person. So Doughboy as Buddy was very cocky. All right. Now that's not a bad thing. We've all been there. Now, something else that you guys should know. For one, y'all need to know this for your own education. Two, you need to know this so it never gets brought up again. The first reason you need to know this is because of this reason. I worked behind the scenes on Wild 'N Out for 2 seasons. Okay. I worked directly under Nick Cannon and Niall Evans, and I'm backstage by the camels. All right. I'm not the type of comedian that can do Wild 'N Out. I have nothing but love and respect for all of the performers who do Wild 'N Out. They think so quick. They're so intelligent. They're so great at improv, and they can rap. I can do no rapping. Okay.
Get him.
We'll talk about that reference another time. Get him. Thought I was killing it. Right? Anyway, we're gonna tell them that story on this episode. So I'm behind the scenes. I love the fact that my friends are on this show. You talking about Carlos, you talking about Chico, DC, Doughboy, Nate Jackson, the list goes on and on.
Teddy Ray was on that season.
Goes without saying. I stopped for a reason. There are too many people. I cannot name everybody. That's how many cast members are on Wild 'N Out. Right. So Jay Snow and I are working behind the scenes. We're backstage with Niall, and we're looking at the video monitors. Right now, we get to the episode part where they're about to do the wild style. All right. Now everybody knows. Well, you might not know because they watch it on TV.
This is what you need to know. If you ever want to be on Wild 'N Out, don't do this.
If you ever want to be on Wild 'N Out, the one rule: don't take the mic from Nick Cannon. That's number one. Okay.
But before you tell your part, let me give them my vantage point.
Please.
This was the point. Even though I was Buddy Love, I was having an identity crisis in my mind. So. If my weight loss journey had started at 480 when I first started Wild 'N Out, this was like my 3rd or 4th season there, and I was down closer to 300, 320, which was about 150-pound weight loss. So even in my mind, I wasn't the big guy. I wasn't the big guy anymore. I wasn't even the biggest person on the show, and I don't know that they ever, the execs looked at me as the big guy, whatever, but I looked at myself like that. So I was fighting for relevancy, and I was just like, I got to make people see me. So, and I kind of just felt like I needed to have a splash moment. So in my mind, I would go out, I would grab the mic and do so amazing. Everybody would just pick me up, and just nobody would want to rap after that, and it would just kill the show. But that ain't what happened.
So Doughboy is already not having the best episode. And what we mean by that,
or the best season. It wasn't my best season. We can be honest. It was my toughest season today.
It was a tough season. It was tough. He's trying to find his way. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, shine. So Doughboy, we're at the part of the episode. We're almost home free. It's the wild style battle. And man, so Doughboy he gets that look in his eye. Okay, Nick Cannon. I forget who the celebrity guest was. Nick Cannon is about to rap. He's like, yo, and Doughboy from the back of the crowd. Hold on, Nick. I got it. At that moment,
I remember he looked at me because he's such a nice nigga and he's a professional, but his look was like, nigga. And then he gave me a look like, okay.
All right.
The floor is yours, nigga.
Nick Cannon, we're going to record saying this. Nick Cannon is the nicest guy on the planet. These are just facts. We're not saying this to say it. He's the nicest guy in the world. I don't even call him Nick. I call him Nicholas because he just reminds me of that cousin you had. Both y'all was, raised by your grandma. You're like, what up, Nicholas? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Nicholas.
The nicest guy in the world. So Doughboy says, yo, Nick, I got it. At that moment, Jay Snow and I are in Video Village. Jay Snow immediately, remember he got the Mickey Mouse voice. He stands up and he's like, no. I'm standing there and I'm like, right? Because we're like, you know what? Forget it. We're here. Doughboy just gotta crush it. Here's what you gotta remember about wilding out cast members. Now, this is another reason I didn't say everybody's name. Now, wilding out is a very hard place to get your shine. So everybody that is not established is reaching for that microphone and trying to have a moment, right?
Absolutely.
So what that means is what I just told y'all, nobody takes the mic from Nick. So when Doughboy took the mic from Nick, he lost all his support from any cast member.
I could have said the illest shit. They wasn't going with it because I broke the rule.
Because he broke the one rule. Don't take the mic from Nick. So he takes the mic from Nick, and Nick is like, all right, go ahead, man. Do your thing. Like, this better be good energy, right? Doughboy starts rapping. Now, you got to understand this about CT. If I haven't told y'all this by my actions or by my friendship, I'm telling you right now, there is no bigger fan of Doughboy Anthony Dwight Belcher Jr. on the planet more than CT. You understand me? I don't give a fuck if you say his mama. There is nobody that is a bigger fan of Doughboy Anthony Dwight Belcher Jr. than moi. Okay, Doughboy starts rapping. Doughboy,
and I thought I had it.
This is what you don't know. You don't know this part. Doughboy starts rapping, right? Each time he's spitting, I'm like this in the back. Okay, bam, I'm doing that, right? Niall is looking at me like, if you keep nodding your head, this is your final episode as well.
You were born on the boat with this thing?
Come on, fam. You feel me? Because I'm on Doughboy's side no matter what.
I never knew this part.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm bobbing my head. Jay Snow is trying to rock with it, but Niall is steaming at the fact that Doughboy took the mic from Nick. So we see Nick, and Nick is just sitting back there, and he's like,
right? The shit didn't hit. Whatever I said, now I thought it would give me a standing O. Yeah. Nigga, it never felt, it was a packed out arena.
Yeah.
You know, it's loud in there. Never felt so quiet and never felt like that, bro. That walk back was so long and lonely and cold. And I knew I fucked it up. And I knew my episodes was getting cut after that. I knew it. And I had to eat that.
And at the moment, so that happens. But you got to remember, if you feeling bad, folks, this isn't Doughboy. This is Buddy Love, okay? Oh, yeah. So he gets off stage, the show's over. It didn't even hit him yet. He was like, what's wrong with everybody? Why they tripping? Everybody tripping. Anyway, hey, Nick, good job, bro. He hit him with the good job. Did you think, Nick? You keep going, man. They might name a show after you. You know what I'm saying? So episode's over. Me and Jay Snow are like, damn, right? Doughboy does the honorable thing. He comes to talk to me and Jay Snow. He's like, bro, what you think I should do, right? We say, hey, man, you got to get them a gift, bro. You got to get them a gift right now. Like, not later.
Today.
Right now. He goes to get a gift. I think you went and got like some alcohol that they liked, right?
Right. I got it for everybody though. Like the whole, like I got a bunch of stuff. I overdid it.
Man. So that happened. And you know, Nick was like, yo, man, this was really big of you. I got him some cologne.
That's what I got, Nick. Yeah. And I didn't know what to get him. And he was super like appreciative of it. Like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? And what I did, just so we make sure we tell it right. Yeah. I got a wrap gift. So I waited until everything was over and I got them a wrap gift, which is customary. You know, once you wrap a season, you know, you gift people different stuff. But I made sure my wrap gift was A1. So I got him that, and I got Niall some J's, and I think that salvaged my relationship.
So here's what Niall did. You got Niall some J's. So also keep in mind, because y'all don't know, Niall is a giant. Like Niall is what, 6'7".
He's an Adamican suit in the flesh. He's
huge. He wears like a size
6'7". Yes.
He's wearing a big shoe.
Yes.
So what Niall does is, like I told you, Jay Snow and I were working behind the scenes because, you know, Jay Snow would have done that season, but his voice was messed up. Right. So I'm head writer as far as creating games and all of that at the time. Jay Snow's working with me. And then Niall is like, yo, Doughboy, you rocking with them for the rest of the season. So he's working with us now because of what he did. Yes. And now he's writing rhymes for the celebrity guests that are coming in and people that, you know, don't have the skill to do it, which brings me to my point of get him. This
was an epic thing that nobody really talks about a lot, but it should be talked about more often. And y'all are going to have to do your deep dive research on your own because the videos still live on YouTube.
So here's why they don't talk about it, Doughboy. The reason they don't talk about it,
got ugly,
because there are two reasons people don't talk about get them, and the whole thing. The first reason is because of the level of respect that our peers have for me. That's number one. Let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, I get a pass on a lot of stuff because of the respect my peers have. And I'll honestly admit that. Right. Now, to back up, we'll tell you this. So this is 2011, 2012. Okay.
Yes, this is
Doughboy, as you don't know, y'all don't know because y'all keep watching this show and you keep seeing Doughboy and I laugh and have a good time and we bicker and we have our arguments and you know about our friendship, but you don't understand.
You don't really know. Right. You don't really
Doughboy, you hear him giving the freestyle each week. He said he's waiting until we back to the studio, which will be next week. Y'all hear it in new freestyle bars. But you keep hearing him freestyle. You keep seeing him be funny and talented and this nice guy. But what you don't know about Doughboy is a monster when it comes to a pen and paper. And when I say monster, he's the monster that is under your child's bed right now with bars, okay? So there's a young lady. There's a young lady. Not gonna say her name because we protect black women here. Okay? There's a young lady. She had. Did you say she was a big black woman?
No, she's a young black lady. Yeah, okay, cool.
So there's a young black woman that she's not having a good go of it right now. We're not here to bring anybody down, but at this time,
she was up. Everything was good.
Everything was good, and she started talking trash about Doughboy. Now, what people don't understand, Doughboy's a nice guy. Doughboy's patience only goes so far. And this is our all first experience learning how Doughboy's patience is. Okay. So the young lady is also a rapper. She's a comedian. She also went on to do Wildin' Out, I believe, same season as Doughboy's first season. And in this scenario, comedians began doing this rap battle thing where we were.
It didn't start off as beef because they used to do the XXL ciphers, and so some of us were like, "Hey, we should do because so many comedians play around with rap." So it started off like, "Oh, let's just do one like a comedic cipher, and we'll all just rap." And I was initially supposed to be in hers, but I was working at AAA at the time, so I couldn't go. So I didn't do it with her. And so she did one with like BT, Clint Coley, I think Dion Lack was in it. It was all good. And then I ended up doing one with Tony Baker, with DC Urban, with all the guys. And it was cool. It wasn't like, it wasn't Tahir, but, Chaz, all the guys. And we was just rapping. We wasn't no competitiveness. And then having fun. And then they seen us do ours. And then she starts to attack me. She started to attack me on Twitter.
Yeah.
And she started to say some stuff that I didn't like. First of all, I don't like being attacked about these bars. But then she even started like attacking me as a comedian, like, you're not a real comedian. I've done real stuff. Nobody respects you in these streets. So then.
Now, mind you, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Mind you, this was not Buddy Love. This was full-on Sherman Clunk Doughboy, who at the time was in the crib. He was working the job, like he just said.
Kiara was here full time.
Full time. She was only 4 years old, I believe.
She was 5. She was in kindergarten.
Okay, so she's 5 years old. And let me tell you something about. First of all, shout out to the working man. Let me tell you something about the working man. When the working man is working and he's sweating and he's giving all of his energy to make sure his ends meet and his family is good while still pursuing his dreams, there's nothing that makes him angrier than when someone disrespects that.
Come on, man.
And that's what this young lady was doing at the time. And he came out of his shell, probably called off work, and shot a video.
Oh yeah,
it was just him.
It was crazy. And I don't know how you had got brought into it because it's like she like once I was like starting to go back and forth, she started to go and get, because I think I even dissed you in the song, but I took it easy on you because we was friends. I was like, I'm gonna give him just this, but
let me take them to get them. Okay. So I'm not a rapper. If anything, I can sing, but I can only hold notes. I'm not
No, you can sing.
Thank you. But right now we're talking about this. So what ends up happening is, they're doing this cipher in my crib. Right, I'm talking about they're doing it right outside in my back alley at the time.
We were.
So I'm like, I gotta get in. You feel me? So in that moment right there, and I was like, all right, cool. I need something to say, and I start writing down some bars. But I was like, you know what? This ain't gonna be nothing if I don't really perform it. And when you see these rap battles, they always come in with energy. And I was like, in the middle of my joint, I'm gonna be like, get him. And
the funny thing, I have it here if you want.
No, sir, I did not.
So the thing about it, your verse wasn't half bad. But in the middle of your verse, you was like, matter of fact, actually your bars were actually decent. You was like, I got my flows and I'm telling them. Matter of fact, I got my jokes and I'm selling them. Matter of fact, you said something, call me CT, get him. And they was hyping you up. I was like, this nigga.
But here's the thing, again, so you got to remember, people, they're going to be begging to see this video to come. So you got to remember the people that are in this rap battle, none of us are battling. There's only one person who's battling, and that's the girl versus Doughboy. The rest of us are just having fun. And for somebody like Doughboy, who's a true rapper, he's listening to everybody's verse like, is this to me? Is this to me? Is this to me? Because I'm about to destroy. And Doughboy, no, you don't say anything. Let me tell these people this. Doughboy wrote one of the most diabolical verses I've heard delivered to any human being walking the face of the earth.
Listen,
this
man,
was worse. This was worse than what Jay-Z and Nas did. This was worse than LL Cool J and Cannabis. This was worse than whatever you think Drake and Meek Mill did. This was the epitome of everybody who watched this battle between he and this young lady. After he said his verses, we were all like this.
It got spunky. This is how much I wanted. This is how far I went. I rapped about her, and then at the end there was a paragraph of more things that I just couldn't find things to rhyme with, but I wanted to make sure I threw those in there. It was real in the field, man. Things was different after that, man. I think that was one of the ones I was just like, maybe I went a little too because it was just like it was. But I'm sensitive about certain things, man. Like, and that's one of my sensitivities. So do yourselves. Maybe we put the links of those videos in the bio.
I'm not putting the links in nothing.
I got your verse right here. If you want me to play it, I can play it if you want it.
Let me tell you something, Doughboy. You at that moment, bro, and this is why when I tell you you're the greatest when it comes to writing music, when it comes to performing it, there are superpowers that people have, right? And a lot of us use our powers for good because we hope that we never have to use them for evil. And you used your powers not for evil, to defend yourself, but they were so evil. It was like, please, nobody mess with Doughboy from now on.
See, I wanted to ask you about that because I'll be feeling like that in life a lot of times. In general, this is not about that situation, but it would relate in that situation. Since you're such a big comic book guy, why do you feel like usually the villain is it your safe perception to say that the villain is normally started off a good guy and the world turned him to the villain? Most times,
yeah. Because here's the beautiful thing.
Why do you think that is?
Because everything's perception. When you're a kid, it's easy to hate Scar in the Lion King because you're looking at Pride Rock and Mufasa with this full beard and this mane that's red, and he's got this beautiful son and a beautiful wife, and everybody loves and respects him. But it takes a real MFer, bro, to look at Scar and be like, oh, I get it. Because Scar isn't the athletic lion. He's not the one that they chose to be king. He's the younger brother. He's the one that's outcasted. He's not fun. Mufasa's fun. So you got this guy. He ain't got no kids, right? He's the guy that is the outcast of the family, the black sheep. He's hanging with the hyenas. He's got to create friends, right?
He really does.
Yeah, man. He's literally an outcast outside of Pride Rock. His brother's like, yo, come join us. He's like, man, the people don't want me over there, man. And he's like, I don't want you over there. And he's like, nah, you don't want me over there. You just want me over there so you can look better than me. Because he's been on his own so long, he's sitting there in his mind, like you said, when you in your head, right? So Scar literally one day had enough. Everybody making fun of Scar, the hyenas, everybody talking trash. He's bringing them food, but they still making fun of him. And he's like, y'all laughing, but I'll kill Mufasa. And they like, what?
On the low
though, I kill Mufasa. You do what? He's your brother. Hey man, and creates a plan to not only kill his brother, but to get rid of his son as well. So now he's the king of Pride Rock. Let me tell you something, Doughboy. Not a bad plan. Was not a bad plan.
His execution might have been off a little bit, and you can't really blame him for that because had they given him the opportunity to be his own version of Mufasa, he probably would have never felt like that. And I sometimes sometimes I feel like I be getting baited into being the villain, and that was one of those times. Because I don't be wanting to go at niggas, you know me, man. I like just rapping at the top, giving niggas their props and da. But sometimes you get turned into the villain, and
I see what you're trying to do, and nobody made you the villain. I'm gonna tell you that right
now. I got turned into the villain. I did. I was just minding my business, punching the clock, raising my daughter, and then that shit happened. I'm telling you.
She made you the villain. Nobody else did anything. She did the things you didn't like, which was warranted on your behalf to feel that way. And
but in hindsight, when you look at it, if she taking shots and then you show up on the next freestyle with your shoulders loose, you had to catch it straight. You had to. I had to spin the block. Hold on, bro. We didn't push 50 minutes through this episode. And we ain't touched one of these whatchamacallits. And I wanted to talk about one more thing before we even touch the docket. So this is something that we want to have. This is another curveball. I know you didn't know that I was going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because I'm just making an executive decision. And I feel like we need to talk to the audience about it. Audience, we need to have a family meeting with you guys, okay? Mm-hmm. Donation and Team CT all day, okay? Mm-hmm. We are trying to make the Justice League podcast as big as we can. We want it to grow. We want it to do numbers. We want to get, advertisements. That's the plan for us to grow this. Our goal is to have this in the top 10 of podcasts. We want to compete with the big boys. We have been posting this content on both of our pages this entire time. That was like when we first started, my page was just getting started. I was like, yo, this will really be good. And then once it started getting some traction, CT was like, hey, I'll try, put it on my station, see what it does. But this is what we're going to talk to you guys about, and we need you guys to rock with us. We're going to come up with a date. We don't have a date just yet, and we'll do this internally. But the show is going to be moving exclusively to CT station. There's a lot of reasons why. We don't need to get all the way into that. Just know it's the bigger platform. We need to have it to the place, and we need, for when advertisers come, it needs to be on the biggest platform, and we need all the analytics housed in one place. So we need you guys to get ready for the transition. We don't want to make this difficult for you guys. We're going to give you a couple of weeks leading up. Just wanted to give you the heads up of what is going on in the mind of the Justice League podcast, because as much as we're doing. I don't know, what was the other thing that we were doing?
We're doing do we tell them that now, or do we wait in a couple of weeks and then
let's wait for the second one? So we're going to phase you guys, and we have a couple big announcements because this is something that we love doing and we want to continue to do it, but it just needs to make sense. So just understand, everybody that watches it here, because we usually get about 10 to 14,000 views on my page, usually about 4 to 8 on his page. So we want all the views accumulatively to be pushed over there. And that's just going to help us grow. It's going to help us do our job better, give you guys better content. You know what I'm saying? We're toying around with the idea of doing bonus episodes, but we ain't going to slip too much out. So just understand, we want to work well, but it will be moving. So get ready for that date. It will be coming up soon. Was there anything else you want to say on that particular thing?
On that, like you said, we'll wait, but it's a big thing that is really dope. And I think, they'll enjoy the next piece of news when we drop that. But yes. What was the other?
We had some other stuff. We had a bunch of topics on here. I'll let you. Let me see what we had. We have Rihanna's Fenty fragrance sells out in less than a day. Mm-hmm. We have Batman's sidekick Robin comes out as bisexual. Okay, that's that. We have a black realtor that was showing a home to a black man and his 15-year-old son. They get detained by the police.
Wait. The realtor, the son and the father who were seeing the house got detained?
Yes, because the white neighbors seen black people at the house, didn't recognize, just some racial profile, put them in cuffs. It just gets ridiculous. And that's why I didn't want to do too much. Because it's just like, people just know they be racist and they just be hiding. It just gets nauseating sometimes. And how embarrassing is that, for a dad to be getting handcuffed in front of his kid just until they figure something and they're literally going to go buy a house and look at it. So, it was just one of those depressing things that I didn't really have too much.
What's funny? Well, not funny. I remember my first, and second interaction as a child with the police. The first one was with my Uncle Sonny. I'm rolling with him as a kid, and they pulled him over, and he didn't have, his necessary items that he needed to have. And they were like, all right, well, come on, we're taking you to jail. So they drive him and I to this, courthouse, right? Or the police station. And as soon as we get there, Uncle Sonny go. He gone. He with them. I'm sitting there and they're like, is there someone we could call for you? And I was like, yeah, my mama. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, all right, cool. So they were like, would you like something to eat?
How old were you at the time?
I was no older than 6.
Wow, you were a kid.
Yeah. So they took him. They ordered me some Burger King, right? I'm eating the Burger King, waiting for my mama. And I remember being like, yo, is my uncle gonna be okay? And they're like, yeah, he's gonna be fine. It's just, unpaid parking tickets and all of that. And I'm like, that's so weird. Like, why would y'all take him in if I was there, right? And they were like, oh, because, it was just important that he got this resolved, and this is the first time that we saw him. I'm like, huh. So my mom comes and gets me, and she tells me everything's cool, he's gonna be solid and all of that. It didn't sit right with me. The second interaction, I'm going to school in the suburbs now. I'm about 9 years old, and the DARE program is at my elementary school, and this is an all-white school. So I'm remembering from that scenario, because with that scenario, I'm sitting there like, am I going to jail too? And they're like, no. You're not going to jail. But it was like the energy. I was like, I feel like I was in trouble too. So the DARE program, I'm still looking at it from that scenario. I'm like, yo, I don't know if this is cool for us to be around police. Are they just going to arrest a kid or something? And they're like, no, they're the DARE program. They're going to help us fight against drugs and alcohol and resist violence and all of that. And I was like, huh. It was so much of a different world, because now I felt like I was on the inside, because I go to this white school and the police were heroes to all of these kids. Not that police aren't heroes, because they are. I'm saying at that time, it was very confusing, because when you're a child, seeing your loved one be handcuffed is not something that you ever think is okay. And then I was supposed to, a couple short years later, think that these people had my best interest at heart, because I was at this school. And I say all of that to say, I can't imagine what that boy was going through, seeing his father and him be detained when they're trying to go live a better life. And it's something that you have as an uncomfortable ability, being this skin of never trusting authority figures, because you don't know who's good and who's bad.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. And that's actually, interesting that you say that. And I do want to have this, this conversation about it, because I think it's fascinating. My view on police is actually a little different, than maybe most black men. And I'll tell you why. Now, first of all, I'll say, off top, when you're dealing with racist cops, when you're dealing with cops that abuse their power, cops that have killed innocent people, we're not okay. These are, different. Like, I'm not talking about, I understand that there are cops like this that are bad, that plant drugs on people. There was just a video the other day of so we know that there are bad cops and there are bad apples out of the batch. Okay. I get that. Totally understand it. At the same time, I think sometimes it can be dangerous to paint an entire group of people with a very broad brush, like all police are bad. Because genuinely, I am a 41-year-old man about to be 42. In all of my interactions that I've ever had with the police, and I'm not saying this like I do anything right or other people do anything wrong, never had a negative interaction with a police officer. Whenever I say that to people, they always look at me like, are you serious? Like, no, and I've been pulled over before. I've been pulled over when I was in the wrong. I've been pulled over when I really wasn't doing anything. And so I've always dealt with really, like, maybe I'm lucky. I don't know. But I've never had a cop like even be mean or rude to me. So it's just like, I don't have like this, but I do get it. I do understand that cops like that, do exist. But this is the thing that I'm starting to understand, because there's alarming studies coming out now, right? That a lot of police officers in really big numbers are starting to resign. And the reason why they're resigning is because they feel like they don't get like credit, like you know what I'm saying? Like people all look at them like they're all bad and they talk crazy about them. And so not only do you have a lot of current police officers just being like, we don't want to do this no more because of how we're perceived by the general public, but then people growing up, why, you know what I'm saying, they don't really aspire to be that. And the reason why I bring any of that up is just because now when you're seeing like spikes in crime and it's just like, you know, and then it's like, but these are supposed to be the individuals that we call when we need help. So I just wish that there was some, because I literally was thinking that the other day when I was watching a report about like how a lot of police officers are, you know, just quitting and just doing less stressful jobs. I was like, man, I really wish that there was a way that the narrative could somehow be taken, because I understand how, you know, how difficult of a job that is and how dangerous. Like you literally put your life on the line for your job. So yeah, I just thought that was just an interesting thing that I wanted to say. What's that?
Two things. Well, one, this is a yes and to what you said. I have run into so many amazing police officers. And you know, I have run into those that are not amazing at all. However, this is the funny part. So there was a police officer that had a problem like with our rap music. Like, man, why they always saying F the police, man? Why they always saying defund the police? And I'm like, hey man, ain't nobody ever saying defund the fire department.
Exactly. And that's what the police be, and that's what police be saying. Like they don't ever look at us like firemen. Like firemen get that acclaim, and like police be. And I'm saying, man, it's just, I don't know, man. I wish that would change, because niggas be having to call the police these days. So shit, I just hope that we can somehow. It's going crazy. It's going outside.
Calling nobody. This is how you know that you're someone who looks like us. When something goes down in a situation, you be like, I don't need it. Never.
Where do you think that comes from? Do you think that that's just from Black culture? Because I've been in situations where I'd be like, I should probably call, and I'll be like, maybe not. Do you think that that's just a Black thing? That we just be hesitant?
It's a minority thing. Like you got to remember, and so many of us realize this and so many of us don't. When we talk about the Mexicans and them Latinos overall, the Latin community, and we talk about these Asians, when we talking about the Indian community and so on and so forth, bro, we are truly all in a family together. Like we are all, although we have different cultures, we are each treated the same. And once we start realizing that these people are our allies and not our enemies, I think we will always go further and further and farther together.
Come on, message. Yes, that's how you ended up, man. This has been another fire episode, man. I'm excited that after we hang up off of this, man, we're gonna be getting our stuff together, man, for our flights and stuff. And Detroit, we're gonna be headed your way. Can't emphasize it more. Please get your tickets if you haven't already. And I have been your boy Doughboy.
One time, let me hear you say, hey, it's your boy Doe.
Hey, it's your boy Doe.
All right, let me hear this. Hey, y'all, it's your man Doughboy.
Hey, y'all, it's your man Doughboy.
Cool. I'm just trying to create these.
Okay,
you know, just
I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that one. Okay, I might have to.
Man, you know,
I might have to give it some run.
CT is dope. I'll say that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen the comments. I'm grateful for the comments. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the outpouring of well wishes. Thank you so much for the support that you guys give the show. We cannot do this without y'all. I realize that no matter how big we want this show, it's already huge in comparison to me seeing other shows. And this is an independent, man. We've chosen us. As Doughboy reminds me, we've gone the independent route. So you guys are responsible for the success. No one else, you guys. So thank you so much. Just Us League Podcast for Life. What is this, episode 27?
Episode 27. We about to hit 30 in a couple. You understand? Detroit, we on the way. We out of here.
That's a fact.
Bye. Peace.
Did you say